Hello, welcome to this update for the U.S. and Canada. So let's see. This is the general situation. We have these systems with snow and rain, parts of Canada and parts of the Rockies there, and some rain parts of the west. But we have this system in the Atlantic too, affecting Atlantic Canada, and even some rain parts of the northeast. So let's see what's happening. We have some freeze warnings and frost advisories in Alabama still, and frost advisories all the way down to Florida, like especially during the night and early morning. And we have some winter storm warnings still in West Virginia there, and in northern Montana because of the snow there. Some winter storm warnings in parts of the Sierra Nevada and in eastern California, and central Idaho as well. Let's see, show some red flag warnings, Wyoming, some wind warnings, southern Wyoming, and some wind weather advisories throughout central western Alaska and parts of northern Montana and Idaho, especially into Utah, northern Colorado, some wind advisories in California, parts of Utah and Nevada, wind warnings, southern Nevada, and you can just click on any warning here to see more information. Like here are like the wind chills and frost advisories in the southeast. So be aware, says daily impact today, tonight all the way to some 30s wind chills and temperatures. And yeah, and if you click on like northern Montana, there the winter storm warning is there, freezing drizzle or freezing rain possible this morning. It's not morning anymore, but there's still some snow and drizzle nearby, and weekend and snowfall. So you can check here too. There's like the red flag warnings there and wind warnings. Wyoming, so high wind warning. There's some information there, so be aware in those areas, and the link is in the description to check more warnings. So we have the winter storm warnings throughout parts of Saskatchewan and Manitoba because of the bigger storm there. So like Manitoba, there's snowfall warnings. This is mainly for snowfall. If you click on snowfall, the total amounts to 15 to 25 centimeters expected. Deep developing low pressure system over Montana is poised to track eastward, spreading area of snow across southern Manitoba this weekend, and snow will begin around western Manitoba overnight Saturday night and head to sections of the province on Sunday. So yeah, be careful in all these locations, snowfall warnings. There's like in Saskatchewan as well, some snowfall warnings in all of those locations. Just find your location, click on snowfall. Let's see, snowfall to amounts 15 to 25 centimeters expected. So they say, like, basically that discussion here, they say a large area of heavy snow across southern Saskatchewan on Saturday possible, and it's already Saturday, so be careful there. And moving near Alberta border reach Manitoba by late Saturday afternoon, so be careful. In all of these locations, basically just snowfall warnings. So much of Saskatchewan, if you click on another location there, and it says basically the same thing, so be careful. But each location might have some different amounts or some different information. They also mention rapidly accumulating snow could make travel difficult over some locations. Visibility may suddenly be reduced. Times of heavy snow sources such as highways, roads, walkways, and parking lots may become difficult to navigate due to accumulating snow. So be careful there. And all of these locations, just snowfall warnings there in Saskatchewan, so be careful. Let's see. And there's like some in Alberta too. Snowfall warnings, big portion of Alberta, mainly southern Alberta. Let's see, a long period of snowfall with significant accumulation continues. The snowfall amounts up to 35 centimeters possible eastern Alberta by Sunday morning. Other parts 15 to 25 centimeters. It might start tapering off for most by this evening, so be careful there in all of those locations. And let's see, now in eastern Canada we do have in New Brunswick some wind warnings and rain warnings in some locations there. You can click on rainfall or click on wind to see 50 to 60 millimeters expected today and tonight. Some wind warnings too in some areas. Strong winds may cause damage are expected or occurring near 90 km per gusts in some areas. And like in Prince Edward Island, some wind warnings, special weather statements, higher than normal water levels expected. Be careful the high waves. And like here's some wind warnings too. Strong winds may cause damage expected or occurring in close to 90 km per gusts this evening and this afternoon. So be careful. In Quebec, some wind warnings, rainfall warnings, mainly eastern Quebec, but some other areas too. Some weather advisories. Difficult driving conditions in the snow, bands of snow heavy at times, significant will reduce visibility, could give snow amounts 10 to 15 centimeters. So that's Sunday. Mainly Sunday. If you check here, like where does shows some parts of southeastern Quebec, and especially those areas. And in Nova Scotia do have the wind warnings and rainfall warnings because of that system there. So strong winds may cause damage expected or occurring mainly eastern, north and northeastern Nova Scotia. So be careful. By tonight it might be better, and portions of easternmost Quebec there. So be aware. Nunavut near Hudson Bay, some blizzard warnings. Blizzard beginning Saturday morning, so it already started. Northern winds continue to strengthen. The temperature falls as low pressure system near the coast moves into Hudson Bay. So be careful. Some blizzard conditions possible in the morning, and could persist much of Saturday with winds all the way to 8 km per hour. So be careful there. This link is in the description too. So let's see here. The map for the U.S. does show some freezing rain possible in Montana, that freezing drizzle, some mixed precipitation in the northeast, and still some some heavier snow in West Virginia still possible today. It was mainly this morning, but there still might be something left. Show some heavy snow in the Sierra Nevada, possibly California, and Oregon and Idaho, northern Montana, some areas there. For Sunday, more snow in a big area of Montana, Wyoming, even to South Dakota and Nebraska, North Dakota there, even to Minnesota, and some mixed precipitation in the northeastern parts of the Great Lakes. Still heavy snow or two possible in Northern California. Day 3 shows some freezing rain possible in the northeast, especially in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, even to Quebec, and some snow in Minnesota still, and North Dakota, into parts of Ontario. So be aware. And shows more there, some heavy snow in parts of the Sierra Nevada for Monday. And be aware, excessive rainfall just a marginal in California, near the Sierra Nevada, so be careful there. A marginal along the coast for Sunday, California and Oregon. Next Monday, still in California, Southern Oregon, a marginal, so still be careful with some areas left of flooding and still some rain there. Day 4, nothing. Day 5, still nothing. Snowfall probabilities shows very high in California, the Sierra Nevada, more in Idaho and Montana, especially northern Montana, and western Wyoming, northwestern Washington. So be aware. Even finger to central northern New Hampshire, and shows those very high probabilities across Canada there. So be aware. Day 2, still something Colorado, southern Wyoming, the mountains, and more in northern California, Washington. Day 3 shows again in California, a little bit heavier, another mountain to the west. And day 4 shows more probabilities across the Rockies, parts of California still, and the northeast into eastern Canada. Day 5, some more across the Rockies. Day 6 shows some snowfall probabilities in the northeast. Day 7 more into the northeast there. But this might change. We'll keep watching it. There's they have this expected amount of snowfall, especially in the Sierra Nevada, shows close to 30 inches in some areas, even to 35 inches or something. So be careful there. This next 66 hours until Tuesday shows more there on in Oregon and Washington, especially in the mountains, some in Colorado, Utah, central Utah, Wyoming, Montana. Shows some snow like in New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont, and near the northern Great Lakes there. So be aware. And let's see. So yeah, and in terms of like uh, freezing rain probabilities, so this is alright. Like that's next Tuesday, so like Saturday and Sunday today. Does show in Montana, Wyoming some very slight probabilities for ice, and also in Eastern California. With that snow, there might be some ice in the mix, but these are generally some low probabilities. Late on Sunday, still a finger to the Appalachians and California and Wyoming. Later on Monday, very few. Shows a probability or two in Minnesota and some areas, but generally little. Monday night shows more, some slight probabilities northern Oregon and some areas there, but into Tuesday already shows the probabilities rising there in some parts of northern New York, Vermont, especially to southern Ontario there in Quebec. Later on Tuesday shows spreading to like New Hampshire, northern New York, some higher freezing probabilities. But these are just probabilities. We'll see if it comes true or not. So yeah, be aware. There's the winter storm severity index, mainly in California. There, it's like major in the mountains, so be careful there. The snowfall mountains, some areas of extreme, some national parks there. So yeah, be careful. That snow, some more mountains of northern California. So stay safe. Let's see. There's also the 6 day 6 to 10 temperature probability outlook, so does show some very below average parts of the Midwest and some areas. So a big dip of cold air this next like 6 to 10 day. So be aware. It is like from the 28th to December 2nd. So much below normal temperatures there, and still some above average Florida and Arizona and southern New Mexico. The 8 through 14 still some bigger below average throughout the east, so be aware there. Big portion of the east, and some above average on the west still. Precipitation still some above average on the east and the north, and below average on the west. Although it has rained so much from the bomb cyclone, still shows below average, like from the 28th to the 2nd, because the pair might calm down a little bit there, but there will still be rain in some days. It shows days 8 through 14 some above average parts of the north and the south even. So yeah, be aware of those areas. And they do have like the 48-hour snowfall. So that shows something in the northeast, like northern New Hampshire, Vermont, and Maine, especially northern New York. But that show more across the Sierra Nevada. There close to 12 inches, even close to 20 inches, 24. Some higher peaks there. More across Colorado, Utah, some parts of Nevada, and especially Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Some like in Wyoming, Montana too. And the 24-hour ice doesn't really show much, but yeah, does show a finger or two like in New Hampshire, but yeah, very little. And the 24-hour max wind gusts does show some high gusts in the Atlantic, close to the northeast, especially near New Hampshire, Maine, close to 50 mile per hour gusts, or even like 60. Show some 60 mile per hour gusts or more, southern Nevada, in the Sierra Nevada there in California, and parts of Wyoming more than 50, and southern Colorado. So be aware there. Does show the temperature still today during the day, some 20s in the north there, a little bit colder, and some 70s even is in southern Texas, southern Arizona, and some areas. So yeah, some 40s in the northeast and some areas there. Day 2, actually day 1 during the night shows some 30s in parts of the Appalachians, North South Carolina, and some 40s all the way into Florida. The dark area might be like some 35, 36 northern Florida. Shows some 30s in the northeast as well, and some like 20s and some teens in the north, especially like some 9 Fahrenheit in Montana, some 20s and 30s all the way down to like northern New Mexico, Arizona, central New Mexico, and colder in the Sierra Nevada. There's some like 20s and teens in those purple areas in the mountains. So be aware. For Sunday during the day, shows a little bit colder there. Still during the day, something like 18, 15 Fahrenheit, northern Montana, and some like 20s, 22, 27 parts of North Dakota and northern South Dakota, and some 40s to 30s in some sections of the Northeast. During the day, some 80s in Texas, still some 70s in Florida. So yeah, it's still cold in the Sierra Nevada, even during the day. And the next night, Monday morning, shows all the way down to -3 Fahrenheit in northern Montana. So very, very cold there. Be aware. Some 12, 15, 5 Fahrenheit. Much of South Dakota and North Dakota. Some 0 Fahrenheit, like between North and South Dakota. Some 26 northern Utah, but some mountain areas there close to like 1 Fahrenheit. Western Wyoming and northern Utah. In Eastern California, some 15 to like 10 Fahrenheit, those mountains. And yeah, so be aware of those colder temperatures there. Let's just see a little bit closer up. So shows all the way to -7 Fahrenheit, northern Montana, 1, 5 Fahrenheit, 10, Wyoming, some 1, 7, 3 Fahrenheit, Utah 2. So be careful there in Montana, those areas. And day 3 during the day for Monday still shows some teens and 20s there during the day, some 16, 14, 21 to 28. Some 80s in southern Texas, more 80s there. Even southernmost Florida, some 79. And still coldish in the northeast, in some mountains during the day in some areas. And yeah, and across the Rockies, pretty cold. And the next night, Tuesday morning, does show still some -4 to -5 Fahrenheit in North Dakota, some 3 Fahrenheit, 4 Fahrenheit, 1, so very cold there. Be aware, some 30s all the way down to Texas, central Texas even, and Florida shows a little bit more, like some 50s or something, but the cold will be advancing more further east, like some 20s in Illinois during the night and early morning, in Indiana some 30s, in the northeast some 20s and 30s, and still in Oregon, Washington, Nevada some 20s in those areas of the west. So be aware. During the day on Tuesday, that does show still some 18, 15 Fahrenheit in parts of the north, and still some 30s during the day, the Midwest, and some 40s, and very cold in parts of the Rockies during the day in the high elevations of the west. So be aware. Wednesday morning does show those blues, those cold temperatures spreading all the way east, so basically all the northern section of the country. So like 30s in Kentucky, some 28, 25 in Ohio, in Indiana, some 20s, and 30s in like Maine, New England, New York. So be aware. Not way down to South Carolina, some 30s there, some 20s the Midwest, and still 5, 6 Fahrenheit in northern North Dakota and Montana. So still cold, and occasionally like those darker pinks close to 1 Fahrenheit 0. So be aware. Some 8 Fahrenheit South Dakota, 31, 35 Fahrenheit all the way to Kansas, and still pretty cold across the west. So like 20s, teens, and even single digits in some higher peaks there. So be careful. During the day on Wednesday, the maximum does show some 19, 22, 32 Fahrenheit as like maximum temperature, so still very cold during the day. And does show some like very cold still in the mountains, some 30s, 20s, even cold in some higher spots during the day, coldish in the northeast in some areas during the day. So be aware. And Thursday morning, does show yet again some -2, -5 Fahrenheit parts of northern Montana, 0, 2 Fahrenheit North Dakota, and some 20s, 30, especially 30 is still in the Midwest, northern Michigan even colder. It shows some like 20s and teens, the mountains of California, mountains of Colorado, the Rockies, parts of Utah, and Nevada, especially in Oregon, Washington, some 14, 32 Fahrenheit, so be aware. And a little bit warmer in the south. Day 6 does show Thursday afternoon, some 10, 16 Fahrenheit in the north. Some 30s all the way down to Iowa as maximum temperatures. Northern Missouri, some like 30s the northeast as well. And those high elevations, those colder temperatures across the west. Day 6 for Friday morning, they're shoulder to -10 Fahrenheit, -11. Some parts of North Dakota, Montana, so very, very cold. But it's still some days away, so we can't know for sure yet. But there's some 30s to 32 all the way to central Texas, and like some 40s in Georgia, but shows some 20s the northeast, the Midwest, some 17, 16 degrees in Illinois, parts of Michigan, but Minnesota some like 3 Fahrenheit, 13, 12. So yeah, be aware of those colder temperatures. And day 7 during the day, still some like 7 Fahrenheit as maximum temperatures in North Dakota, and some 30 is parts of Illinois and other parts of the north and Midwest in the northeast. So yeah, be aware those areas. And here, let's see, in terms of storms and fire, nothing crazy. The fire is okay, no critical, but does show some general storm or two across the west for today. Tomorrow, still storm or two near the coast of California and Oregon. And day 3, a storm or two in Texas through Mississippi and Louisiana, but nothing that crazy. So yeah, be aware those areas. And does show here, let's see just the general outlook. So there's that system now with the snow, parts of Alberta and Saskatchewan, northern Montana, and the freezing rain. So it keeps going there. Sunday tomorrow, more snow like the European model shows southern Manitoba and Saskatchewan, and then it goes into Ontario there on Monday. Shows more snow northern Minnesota, parts of Wisconsin and Ontario. And then this goes Tuesday, the European model shows more snow like most of Ontario except the south, and going to Quebec, some snow central northern Quebec as well, and shows a big front of rain from like Louisiana to New York. So yeah, this goes the front exits, and more snow into like northern Maine shows some more rain on the 26th, and more snow throughout Quebec and Ontario in some areas on the 27th. This keeps going, shows some hints of snow in the northeast, and yet again on the Midwest on like Wednesday the European shows more snow, and it has that first system there, more snow across like Labrador, some in Newfoundland on the 28th, and then that snow just keeps lingering there. And meanwhile, it shows some storms in the south, some snow like New York and Pennsylvania. The European model shows more storms on Friday and Thursday, the 28th and 29th. So be aware parts of the southeast, and the European Thursday is into a big northeastern parts of Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, and all those areas, even to Nova Scotia, New Brunswick on the 30th. This goes there. Still shows a lot of snow throughout Quebec and northern Maine, the northeast, even to Newfoundland. There's some heavy rain in Nova Scotia. This goes and shows abundant snowfall through most of Quebec and Labrador, and then still shows some other systems after that across the west in some areas. But this still a week out. This might not even happen, because sometimes these models are like this. But let's see the west now. It still shows some snow in the Sierra Nevada and the rain there, but there shows some more rain in Northern California Sunday and Oregon. Still that snow across the mountains of the west Sunday in the Rockies, Montana, Colorado. There's show a thing or two in Nebraska too. It shows more snow central California on Monday the 26th. More snow there in the Sierra Nevada, more rain in the coast there. Then this goes, shows even some heavy rain and snow on the 26th in California, more snow like in Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, some parts of Idaho, not areas. So this goes, the European still has some snow to Colorado, New Mexico on the 28th, and some stuff there. And later does have more things near the southwest, but that's far out. Now further north, it has now the big system, the snow, British Columbia and Alberta. This goes shows more like Monday, some snow in Washington, southern British Columbia, drizzle or two in Alberta. The snow does show like Tuesday, those systems in Alaska with snow already starting today. More snow for central Alaska Sunday, Monday into Yukon, northwestern territories, northern British Columbia, some snow on Tuesday there. So this goes shows some hints of snow in Saskatchewan on the 27th, Nunavut's parts of northwestern territories in British Columbia again there. This goes and shows more snow diving down to Montana on Thursday, and some more stuff in Alberta and British Columbia. And then it even shows some more systems near the coast, like British Columbia on the 30th, but that's kind of far out. So be aware those areas. Now the GFS, just for reference, does have those systems there, like across the west with the snow, and in the Atlantic. So it does go there. Shows more the rain continues in California and the snow across the Rockies. This is already Tuesday. Shows more snow there, parts of Manitoba and Ontario, and the rain. And this does go there. More snow in Quebec on like Wednesday. Even some parts of New York, northern Vermont, and still across the west. Pretty much this is Wednesday. This goes there. And the GFS does have that system the 28th. Some rain like the southeast and some snow in the Midwest. But it does go Thursday and kind of turn into that northeastern or something. But shows less snow than the European, remaining more close to the coast instead of that far inland. It does have more snow like Manitoba and Ontario into Quebec. Then this goes there. More rain and snow in big portions of eastern Quebec on the 30th and Labrador and Newfoundland. So yeah, we'll monitor that and still shows snow like central and Quebec and Manitoba by like the 30th and the 1st. But yeah, be aware in those areas. But it's just a model. This forecast will still change many times, so be aware. And the winds still shows those very high winds, like in Nova Scotia, close to 102 km per gusts. Northern Nova Scotia, some areas of 77 km per gusts. Shows more across Newfoundland, especially northwestern Newfoundland, some higher gusts from that system. This goes there. The European momentarily shows tonight some very high gusts, like close to 119, 15 km per gust, on like northern New Brunswick and in eastern Quebec, and even Newfoundland close to 101 km per gust in western parts there, and more across western Newfoundland, Saint Pierre, and other areas. So be aware. Shows those high gusts Sunday, parts of Maine and Vermont close to 40 to even 50 mile per gusts. This goes there, and yeah, kind of quiets down. Then later, the European has that crazier northeastern next weekend that will bring some very high gusts. But if this actually forms, because we don't know yet, the GFS is something too, but way weaker. So yeah, be aware. The west shows some high gusts in the Rockies, some areas, like I showed you the map before, so it goes there, and also some gusts in southern Alaska, some parts of western British Columbia, and then this goes Sunday, shows the European does have New Mexico, some higher gusts there, close to like some 50 mile per gusts, 52, some parts of central Arizona. This goes and does have like Tuesday a little bit quieter, some stuff near the northeast, some 30, 40, like some 30 mile per gusts. Again in New Mexico, southern Colorado, close to like some 60 mile per gust the European has, Arizona. So be aware in those areas. Does have some higher gusts yet again on the 27th, Arizona and New Mexico. This goes and yeah, shows higher gusts with that system later there. So be aware. And here does show some higher gusts in those areas. Sunday Monday, across like northern Quebec, some 45 km per gusts in some areas. Northern Nunavut in the Arctic, some higher gusts those Arctic systems, northernmost Alaska. Then this does go shows a little bit quieter in terms of wind action, central Canada, but there still might be some periods of strong winds near Lake Winnipeg and some areas of Manitoba there, on like later next week. This shows summer wind action on the Pacific later into next weekend and early December. So yeah, be aware in those areas. Now the temperatures in parts of Canada, because I showed you there the U.S. before. So let's see. So still pretty cold across northwestern territories, to minus 29, minus 30. Nunavut, parts of Yukon, very cold. And this cold coming all the way down to southern Saskatchewan, some minus 9, minus 11, minus 17. So very cold there. Most of Ontario, some negative temperatures except the south. And yeah, and this like now in the afternoon, but does show like tonight to tomorrow, says a minus 8, so minus 14. Northern British Columbia says a minus 31, minus 28. So yeah, BOR is a minus 4, minus 11. So very cold there. So some most southernmost seas are kind of escaping, but still chilly across those areas. This goes like Monday morning, shows some parts of Alberta all the way to minus 25 degrees, minus 19, minus 23. British Columbia, much of Yukon, those very cold temperatures show those cold temperatures spreading more into Nunavut, so minus 30, minus 25. And yeah, shows more like all the way to southern Ontario, right, like Ottawa, so minus 1, minus 5. Most of Ontario there, some colder temperatures. Monday morning, in the afternoon does increase a little bit in the south, so like 4 degrees, but at night again, some areas fall back in those negative temperatures. But some southernmost cities are kind of escaping, like Toronto, some areas, but still central Saskatchewan, so minus 26, Manitoba, British Columbia, they're very cold. This goes there still shows some harsh cold on like northern Yukon, central Yukon, northwestern territories on the 27th, and including Alaska might be like minus 26 Fahrenheit, minus 15 Fahrenheit. Those like pinks might be even less. So yeah, be aware that this goes. And the European model does have this big cold coming all the way down to northern Alberta, so minus 25, minus 30, northern British Columbia. And later, the Europeans doing some nasty stuff, showing like minus 30 degrees all the way to southern Saskatchewan on November 30th. And yeah, but this is just one model. The GFS, for example, on the 30th does have a branch of colder air there, but not as crazy as the European. The icon does have that small branch of like cold air coming from the north there. So yeah, be aware those areas, and like the rainfall accumulation does show some higher accumulation parts of Newfoundland, close to 121 millimeters, more rain from Nova Scotia, British Columbia. Much of this rain for most of Canada might be snow already because it's too cold, but near the coast and lower elevations might be rain. And the snow from the European model does show some spots in northern Nova Scotia, some 13 centimeters, in the New Brunswick some 30 centimeters, parts of Quebec there some more, central to eastern Quebec a little bit heavier snow, eastern Ontario does show snow southern Ontario too, as well as the Midwest, Illinois, Indiana, some more snow to Pennsylvania. This is the next 5 days, so does show something like 9 inches of snow, 11 inches, although in northern Missouri some 7 inches by the European model, Pennsylvania, New York. The icon has way less in the Midwest, and the GFS has further south, Indiana, Illinois, but the European showing more there. So yeah, be aware those areas. Now shows that snow in Saskatchewan, some 18 centimeters, 19 in the next 5 days, more parts of British Columbia, especially southern Alaska there, British Columbia, some more snow, and most like northwestern territories, northern Nunavut, and yeah, so central Alaska, lots of snow there, close to 3 inches, 5 inches, or even more in some areas. Beware the snow, and like if there are gusty winds at the same time, might make it worse. But it doesn't show anything crazy in terms of wind in Alaska. Maybe a spot or two there, but yeah, be aware of the colder temperatures and everything. And now just one last thing, like here for the U.S, day 1 through 7 does show that heavier precipitation in California, snow and rain shows more across like the coast as well, some 3 inches or something the next 7 days, more in Colorado, Utah, mainly snow, and they'll show some storms in the south, southeast, and the east next 7 days, and more rain there. So yeah, be aware. And this mainly it, so stay safe from that winter weather, and be aware of some other stuff like fog occasionally in some areas, like as especially like some wind chills in some areas. So like just as an example here, let's see the GFS for like temperature and stuff. So here, wind chill and hitting the sea. So the does show like today, so this Fahrenheit, yeah. So already is Saturday, like today shows some 0 degrees wind chills, North Dakota, 5-7 degrees, but like later tonight or something, does show some like 12, 2 degrees wind chills, parts of Montana, and even colder, close to -6 northern Montana, some wind chills there in the Sierra Nevada too. And this is still Saturday. This like Sunday at 60. Let's see a little bit later. So like a little bit earlier better to see some areas like the southeast, and yeah. So the GFS not showing anything crazy for like the south in terms of wind chills, but they do have those frost advisories like in Florida and Georgia and some areas. So be aware there. Like the European tonight has some 1 degree, -1, even to like -5 wind chills in northern Montana, and yeah. So be aware of those areas. They still like 0 C tonight. Let's see, this is Tuesday, yeah, because these models are like long range, but let's see, Saturday 18 C, a little bit later like Sunday, yeah. So it does show some 4 is 3 is, yeah, but the actual temperatures on the forecast there were a little bit less than this. But yeah, be careful in those areas, especially in the northern areas with those colder wind chills, and stay safe.